Hi, welcome to Third Thursday 30. This is 30 minutes of me talking. Today we're going to be talking about how we sell simple. We do this once a month. Hopefully you'll join us whenever you can. Third Thursday 30, go to ce-q.com to sign up. How do you sell simple? Let me tell you a little story about where I came from, how I came to Simple. I was doing some consulting work for a company, and this quality manager, I asked him where his non-conforming product procedure was. He pointed to a 5-inch binder that its leaves could not even close. He pointed at it and he said to me, "Do you think I'm going to read that?" So when the quality manager wouldn't read it, you know that the other people won't be reading it. Excuse me, let me see if I can't get this screen to change. And here we go. So another thing that happens is I get reasons for why I can't go simple. Well, my customers won't accept a simple system. They're going to expect long procedures. If your customer is expecting long procedures, that means they don't understand what the standard expects, nor do they understand what IAF.NU has published in their documentation for processes. The ISO 9001 Auditing Practices Group is telling us we can't have the old-fashioned procedures anymore. We need process maps, flow charts, something that will help us to get our documentation out. Some people say, well, people can't understand flow charts. I argue people can't read, and therefore the long procedures will be even more difficult for them. Another one is, we've always done it this way. That's good reason to change. What I'm going to talk with you about today is showing you how what we do in ISO is truly a prescription for success. When I went through this book by Mary Kelly and Peter Stark, I was shocked at how much it lined up with the ISO 9001 standard. Here's just a few comments, and that's what we're going to use, and then I'll tie it all together as we come through this. A business or an organization's mission statement describes what they do and sometimes who they serve. The vision describes where you're going and what you're going to become. A strategy is how you get there and the actions you take to accomplish that vision. I like their explanation. A jigsaw puzzle, if you're putting it together, the mission is we are going to create a picture by assembling pieces. The vision is the picture that we are making. They also outline 7 steps in how to succeed. The first one is to create a clear mental picture of what you are. I want to say a clear mental picture of who you are becoming. If you are going to be the best supplier of material handling equipment in the world with the shortest lead times, then you know who you're going to become. That's the mental picture I'm talking about. Who is, as an organization, do you need to become? Another example of this might be a hospital. If a hospital says we're going to become the hospital with the best ER department and the lowest wait times in the city, now you're talking about who they are saying they are becoming. Decide on some action steps to achieve your vision. So what are you going to have to do? to achieve your vision. As they're talking about this, I'm translating it into what are your objectives as an organization? That's what ISO 9001 says. Identify any roadblocks, identify the risk and mitigate them. List the benefits. Know the opportunities that are created if the vision becomes reality. Know specific individual goals, documented information that shows commitment to those goals, and create an action plan that breaks down those steps so that you can follow them and help your team to achieve them. And then, number 7, accountability, making sure that folks are accountable. When you follow these 7 steps, Mary Kelly and Mr. Stark tell us that this gives a powerful, positive vision that creates excitement, pride, and it gets your leaders pushing others to set and meet ambitious goals. As you read this, you think they maybe knew the standard. It also says that trust busters are inconsistent or non-existent communication. The ISO 9001 standard requires us to know what we're going to communicate, when we're going to communicate, and where. It also talks about not communicating and delegating what people's jobs are, not making clear to them your expectations. And then trust busters is not giving feedback. So we're looking at what these outsiders to the quality management system professionals are, and they're telling us how to succeed. We've already done that, but we don't sell the sizzle. The people in that book, they sold the sizzle. They sold knowing where you're going gets everybody on your team. So what I'd like to present to you is if you'll keep what you're trying to create in the back of your mind as you're leading your organization. So if you could bring this book into your organization and say, let's read it together. Let's look at becoming who we want to be. Who do we want to be, and how do we become that? Well, you take them through the issues, the interested parties, and your boundaries to make sure you know who you are. You'd look at the risk that prevent us from accomplishing. And remember, not even talking about ISO, just looking at risk, looking at who you want to be, knowing where you're going, and mitigating those risks, looking for opportunities that will occur by achieving your vision, setting a strategy. This is all following with what this book is telling us is the secret to success, but they tell it in a way that brings us to the sizzle. We want to document a strategy. Know objectives, know what will be done, who will do it, when it's going to be done, what resources we're going to need, and when it's going to be achieved. The next thing from the book was to create an action plan, break down steps that must be followed by you and your team to achieve each goal, and commit to it when you take each step. Well, in ISO world, we create process maps to break down steps, and these process maps also are how we delegate and communicate our expectations to other people. We then know the risk, and we mitigate those. We hold people accountable and expect improvement. ISO also requires us to plan communication, give feedback to employees, and clearly communicate our expectations, which are our operational controls in Clause 8, and to document these processes. That's how we build trust in an ISO 9001 system. So we're selling sizzle. Sell who we will become. Sell the opportunities that open up after we reach our vision. Sell why it's valuable to become this person, this organization in this vision, and sell that vision. To do this, you're going to need to know something about leadership. You're going to need to be a leader. That's another whole session. But lead the organization in learning who they are, setting that strategy, and finding the way to make that happen. So in summary, know your vision of who you will be, have a method to get there, get others involved, and sell the sizzle of who we're becoming. Lead them. They don't have to know it has to do with the standard. What you want them to do is get sold on the vision. Thank you for attending Third Thursday 30. We hope to see you again next month. Third Thursday 30, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and again at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We look forward to seeing you then. Thank you so much.